So it kind of looks like nap time in the starter pen for the meat chickens. These are doing good. Hey, thanks for joining me. It's Melissa here in the Meat Bird Barn at Twin Oaks Family Farm, just doing a well check on the meat birds. We got Cornish Rock Cross meat chickens here, 9 days old. I'm going to actually go into the pen here in a few minutes and replenish some of the waters. We keep waters filled and ready to go. You can see some up there on the yellow crates. So like that one there is down to the tray, almost empty. So I'll just swap a new water in for that one. But we try to keep those filled up so that it's super simple to just swap waters out real quick. And then the birds have water replenished while we take time to clean the waters and refill the waters, and the birds don't have to wait on us to do that. We can keep their water supply constant. You don't think of water as a nutrient. We say nutrient, we think of things like protein, carbohydrates, vitamins, minerals, but in fact, water is a nutrient, and it is the most essential nutrient for our livestock. It's essential for us as well. But when we're raising livestock, we never want them to go without water. We always want to have fresh, clean water for them, easily accessible, easily reachable, and keep it replenished. They're very appreciative, and especially in any kind of production agriculture, it definitely comes through in the outcome. If they were lacking for water, we're going to have poor outcomes. If they had sufficient water, we're going to have better outcomes. If they have sufficient water and all their other needs met, we're going to have excellent outcomes. But they drink a lot of water. I was trying to kind of quantify that. In this pen right now, we have 10 gallons of water in here, and we're just now here on day 9 with the chicks, reaching the point where we're actually refilling or replenishing all 10 of those about twice a day. So they're easily drinking 20 gallons in 24 hours. And we're basically at the point where we are ready really to replace the baby waters that are 1 gallon capacity. I believe we're ready to replace them with what we call the big bird waters. So something more along that line. So that's going to hold 5 gallons at a time. So here in the next day or two, we'll actually probably swap in about 5 of the big capacity waters, and we'll take all the baby bird waters, the single gallon capacity waters, out of the pen. And in one sense, it just helps make it more user friendly for them, because there's more quantity of water in there, and we can more easily match the quantity of water that we're putting into the pen to the quantity of water that they want to drink in a 24-hour period. But it also makes it more user-friendly for us, because instead of having to handle 10 of these 2 or 3 times a day, we can put in 5 of those big waters. We can basically take a 5-gallon bucket and just carry it back and forth to those waters. And so, like I said, now it looks like they're drinking about 20 gallons of water daily. If we put in 5 of those big capacity waters, we'll be able to just fill that up once every 24 hours. We are ready to move these birds into some bigger capacity waters. You can see we've put them into large capacity feeders a little earlier than we typically do, but they're doing really well with it. We're at day 9 on their age, and usually by about day 10 to day 14, that is when we're hitting that threshold where we say, hey, it's time to go into the bigger waters. So like I said, we'll take out, there's 10 of them in here, so 10 gallon capacity right now, filling it twice a day. We can be pretty sure they're consuming 20 gallon. So we know if we start with 5 of the large waters to give them 25 gallon capacity in their pen, that's going to be good for now. And then as the birds grow, also going to need a few more feeders and a few more waters, and we have those supplies on hand, so we'll be able to add those things in to their grower pen and to their finished pen when we get to those stages. So that's the scoop on that. Development wise, they're feathering more, they're getting taller, they're filling out a little bit. They did hit a little bit of a growth spurt as far as their frame, like their skeletal structure, and that's This is when we see that. So they'll hit several more growth spurts as we go. So they're 9 days old, just over a week, and really doing good. We're also seeing feathering at the tails. First they got feathering on their wingtips, and then more along the wings. Gave us a good shot of that. And now you can see more at the tail head. But they still have a lot of yellow fluff, and they'll gradually get feathering to replace that. So they're doing really good. So we have till June 11th with this group. And I don't have the calendar in front of me. I don't know if that falls at exactly 6 weeks, but that would have been the goal. We would have tried to set it up so that they would be 6 weeks, as close as possible to 6 weeks of age, and not over at processing. So probably that's what we're going to, is about day 42. That's usually the goal. And then the other thing I wanted to tell y'all, we'll talk about it on day 10, but we get straight run birds. So we'll talk a little bit about what straight run is and why we do that and what the difference could be. But thanks for supporting the channel. Thanks, y'all. We appreciate you.